time in Miami, y'all definitely get in the comment box. But it was like almost, I want to say, a comparison of Skid Row in LA. They had a strip under this overpass freeway that was almost like a complex of homeless people. That shit almost went on for miles. I remember one time driving to, I want to say, the old Heat Stadium. I can't remember if it was the old one or the new one or what the situation was, but I know this shit was right near the Heat Stadium. And man, that shit was wicked, bro. Wicked. So yeah, if you ain't been to the other side of the bridge, you really, really haven't been to Miami. And when we talk about that Skid Row Village, that was in Overtown, and Overtown is going to be a place in Miami where Vonda, or the Vonda gang, ruled with an iron fist during the 1990s. She really, based on my research, they're going to say she got in the game right in around the mid-1980s, and it was through a very, very well-known Miami hustler by the name of Bunky Brown, somebody that we should definitely cover. He was somebody that was getting it in, and they said that he was said to put Vonda on. Contrary to that story, I read places where they said that her husband was in the game. He was a longshoreman, along with her brother and her father, and she was once a longshoreman too. But they're going to say that he was in the game, and when he was put to prison, she took over his operation. I also heard where they said that she took over Bunky Brown's operation. But regardless to how she got in the game, in a trade dominated by men, she didn't back down. Some likened her to Keisha from New Jack City. Some new people probably don't even know who I'm talking about, but my old school people know Rockabye Baby. And they said she had chicks just like that was down with her, that was ready for whatever. She would initially be indicted in that very violent time in Dade County, and some might attribute it to a long-standing war that the Vonda gang had going on with the Booby Boys that started in 1992 and would go on all the way to 1998. That would start with the attempt murder of Kenny Booby Williams on September 6th of 1992. And then it would lead to a guy by the name of James Powell being killed in retaliation. And pretty much it was a back and forth from that point, with the next murder occurring on March 23rd, 1995. And looking at it, I probably would consider that the most important in this tit for tat war that they had going on, because it pitted Marvin Rogers, who was one of the most notorious and dangerous members of the Booby Boys gang, against Robert Rara Sawyer, who was the top enforcer, allegedly, for the Vonda gang. Those two alone would actually go back and forth in almost like a one-on-one war with trying to kill each other. And it all came to a head at the end of 1997 when Robert Sawyer was wounded for the second time on November 18th. And it would be a little over a month later where he allegedly would confess to police that he caught up with Marvin Rogers on New Year's Eve of 1997, and he would end up murdering him. And during that 5-year period, it would be a series of shootings and murders going back and forth between the two gangs. Now, Booby would be indicted and go on the run. And on November 14th, 2002, a federal grand jury will return a single count indictment against Vonda and 4 of her co-defendants. And they were charged with conspiring between 1984 and sometime in 1989 to distribute at least 5 kilograms of cocaine. Now, she would go on to admit prior involvement in drug dealing, but she would testify that she was completely withdrawn from any drug conspiracy late in 1995. Evidence would be presented at a 6-week trial for her, and she would ultimately be convicted and sentenced to 20 years. I seen some rumblings on the internet where she should have been released right around 2020. She, from behind bars, she was still able to do good. What is really not mentioned about her is a lot of the good that she did. She did a lot of drives a lot of events for the people in the community of Overtown. They would say definitely the females and the young girls in the city. And they talked about it in length in the MIAO documentary. While she was behind the wall, she also was able to kind of see her son, who was advocating for her freedom. And I want to say he was a player at FAM University. And I saw at one time he was trying to make the Philadelphia Eagles roster. So those are some of the things that she have to look forward to on her way home. And if she's home, we want to welcome Vonda Jackson. We want to thank her for everything that she did for the culture. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. We're going to be back with some more real Trill Spill shit. Y'all hit the red subscribe button right under this video so y'all know we broadcasting from the street. And if she's home, we want to welcome Vonda Jackson. We want to thank her for everything that she did for the culture. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP